This time we're playing another, not new game, newer game. We're playing Sherlock Holmes: The Awakened. Another Cthulhu-inspired game. This is actually another remake. I played the original back in the day, but I never got it too far into it. That's a reference to H.P. Lovecraft's The Shadow over Innsmouth.
Dr. Watson, would you kindly close the door behind you so that we can limit the price of your carelessness to merely hours of work rather than days?
My apologies, Mr. Holmes. I found myself rather taken aback. I saw tidier houses in war-torn Afghanistan. Are those my surgical needles?
I ran out of tacks and the matter required immediate attention.
Was that my supper?
Plainly not, for I was the one who ate it.
I set it aside for this evening.
And for that I am grateful.
Is that my bed?
Watson, since you've proven yourself a master of observation, might I ask you to apply your skills to a more pertinent question? Namely, the whereabouts of today's newspapers. They are the key to everything. The newsboy is usually reliable.
Medically speaking, I often find that the key to everything is good sleep. In a bed. Your papers are here, on the table.
Let us see what the postman brought today.
Tensions between England and Sweden are running high after a series of unfortunate mishaps during a recent visit to London by Swedish Princess Hildur. Chief among the scandals was the embarrassment of the British diplomat corps as a result of the unexplained disappearance of Princess Hildur's personal bodyguard, the longtime member of her inner circle. Wow, I made that a run-on sentence. The longtime member of her inner circle took the opportunity to explore London while off duty and never returned from his late-night promenade. A spokesman for the police assures the advertiser that they are confident the bodyguard will be located, as he is a striking representative of the Scandinavian people. A man like that gets noticed, whether by his peers at the gentlemen's club or the fair nightingales who comfort them.
Local gossip, all of it uninteresting. Your order from Barnes' bookshop has arrived, Doctor.
Barnes insists on delivering the books to our door, even though we could easily walk to his shop. That's good service.
Another letter from Werner. I never reply, but they keep coming.
Werner, why does that sound familiar?
I don't see the Strand. Where is it?
Pardon me?
I am on the precipice of uncovering a pattern of crime across London spanning many months and involving many men. The missing paper cannot be a coincidence.
That's preposterous.
My dear fellow, life is infinitely stranger than anything which the mind of man can invent.
Well, life used your newspaper to wipe its posterior, so after that unpleasant discovery this morning, I disposed of it. But in lieu of the Strand, perhaps I can deliver you something equally tantalizing. I have just returned from a patient of mine, Captain Stemwick, who...
No, that will not do. Grab your coat, Dr. Watson. Let us hope nobody has collected the dustbin.
The dustbin is yours for the digging, Mr. Holmes.
I'm curious as to what they based... I guess they probably just based 221B off of, the location in the original games, because it looks exactly the same. Oh. I actually kind of like that. That bloody deer stalker. And the top hat he was actually more well known for wearing. I'll ditch the glasses. And he grabbed the damn deer stalker, so I'll put on the deer stalker. I think I went too far. There we go, R2. R2 to run. Where the hell am I going? What am I doing? Who am I? What the fuck am I doing? I suppose before entering the building, because the pages were soiled, there's still a chance it might be found in the dustbin. Oh, that dustbin.
A cactus spine. If it gets in your skin, it's awfully tricky to remove, and when laced with poison, the perfect assassination tool. You were
As is
mistaken, Dr.
relevant.
Watson. The paper was indeed dirtied, but not how you implied. It's potting soil. See, Watson? The conspiracy is real. Someone tried to poison me.
Poison? You? That's madness. Do you even have enemies that would want to kill you? Okay, perhaps from Cordona. How about that Vogel fellow? He seems rather obsessed with you. Would he do something like this? Why go through all
Oh,
this
that's
scheme to
right.
murder you? A spine stuck to the newspaper is hardly lethal. A ruined newspaper is hardly the end of the world. We can always buy another. A ruined newspaper is hardly the end of the world. We can always buy another.
Get the Strand. Get your copy of the Strand here. Sorry, Mr. Holmes. I just sold my last paper.
Blast. Then why are you still here?
Boss pays by the hour.
What I'm wondering.
No sense in returning early.
You're a bright child. I presume you see everything that goes on around here?
Nothing gets past me, mister.
And tell me, did you notice anyone suspicious at my door this morning?
Like the man with your newspaper?
Precisely. What do you know?
I know the value of a shilling.
Dr. Watson,
Sure, now I can take the day off.
did you see what he was up to?
Nah, not really. I saw him approaching your house, but I had a customer. Then there's a loud bang. I ducked down. Not because I was scared, because I wasn't. I had to protect the merchandise, and all I could see was him kneeling at your door.
Which way did he go?
Not sure. I was distracted by customers. Sorry.
Can you describe the man you saw?
He was carrying a lot of books. Up to his chin they were.
Never heard of a well-read assassin.
Looks can deceive. Hence the appeal of disguises. All right. You earned your shilling. That'll be all.
Thanks, Mr. Holmes. Maybe I could be your eyes and ears, if you have enough shillings.
Maybe. newsboy said the suspicious man was carrying a stack of books, and this morning Mr. Barnes, the local bookseller, delivered a novel for Dr. Watson. A cactus spine for assassination, a loud bang. A visit to Mr. Barnes is in order. I solve a mystery!
Come now, Mr. Holmes. Murder? Yes, Barnes has his quirks, but he also has a
Strand, get your copy of
Not
the
every
Strand
pawn
here.
knows it's part of a game.
Yeah. Close. Drugstore, pianos, and organs. That's weird. I've never seen a horse lay down before. I feel like they put a dog model on that in that horse. I don't think that's a very natural way for a horse to lay. Oh, I gotta tighten up that left stick sensitivity. That is loose. And yay, went around in a circle for nothing. Oh my god. No. Settings. Okay, no, control. Oh, damn it. Oh, is there really no way to tighten up the... Oh, god damn it. That's annoying. It's gonna take some getting used to. No, what's bothering me is that it's the same no matter how hard you... It's not analog. It's just a digital look. Doesn't matter how hard you push the stick, it goes at the same speed. That's what's throwing me off. Better be up this way. Found it!
The weather is dreary.
I like
isn't
your
it?
head.
To be fair, my flowers could use the rainfall. I should have worn something warmer. People don't tend to come out for flowers when it rains. Perhaps I should try selling door to door. Have a look at my flowers. They will not bite unless you touch their thorns. Have a look at my flowers.
Yeah.
They will not bite unless you touch their thorns.
Is this not? Oh, it's right there.
A ruined newspaper is hardly the end of the world. We can always buy another.
Yeah. Need to unpin that, or it's gonna drive me nuts. Bags under eyes. The effects of overwork. No shit. Ink. Newspaper ink. Leans heavily on his right leg. Sore left leg. Ooh. It sounds like he's sniffing. High heels. Wants to look taller. Mr. Barnes has developed a limp and has large bags under his eyes, the results of long hours of intense work. He's not very confident and tries to appear taller by wearing high heels. It seems unlikely that such a person would be involved in a murder plot, even if the ink on his hand suggests he is the one who soiled the paper. Nevertheless, Mr. Barnes could still be a pawn in a bigger plan without his knowledge. Mr. Barnes has large bags under his eyes, the result of poor sleep and stress. He has developed a limp, likely the result of an attack. He wears high heels to look taller or stronger, presumably to deter future violence. Mr. Barnes is being threatened by someone and might be involved in a plot against me. That's highly unlikely.
Mr. Barnes, a word. Oh, for goodness sake.
Who goes there?
Sherlock Holmes. Now will you please...
Mr. Holmes. Golly, I did not see you coming.
Would you care to answer some questions for me?
Well, I wish I could, but I am deep in the weeds with work. How about we reschedule in a month or two?
No.
Come now, Mr. Barnes. It will only take a moment.
Really deep in the weeds with important things. Well, help yourself to any book. Just take it and pay later. I trust you, Mr. Holmes.
Barnes doesn't seem like himself. Why is he acting this way?
You're asking the right questions, Doctor. Let's find a way to coax him out. The ladder is broken recently, judging by the freshness of the wood.
That's how I got a sore leg.
So, Barnes has a dog now. Who's a good boy? Basics of cryptoanalysis. Cryptography in Egypt. It appears Barnes has an interesting hobby.
It does. Catalog of exotic plants on Barnes' counter. The name of the catalog reads Everlasting Plants for an Everlasting Love. So he's got a thing for the lady across the street. That's pretty obvious. Could also explain why he looks taller. Or wants to look taller.
I could hardly imagine anything more macabre.
I like it.
Barnes has always been a little odd, but this is uncharacteristic even for him.
Apologies, but I can't hear you. Please come back later.
So, Barnes has a dog now.
Looking for a cactus needle in a haystack.
So, Barnes has a dog now. Who's
No,
a good
come
boy?
on, Watson, think.
Where be the shinies? Guess we can try to go around back. Sneak up on him. Yeah, I don't see anything else in here. Here we go. What the hell? Just letting it hang. I guess it's good he's at least in an alley.
Have a look at my flowers. They will not bite unless you touch their thorns.
Well, there goes that theory.
I like bookshops. One of the few spots in London where you are shunned for making a racket. Didn't you once tell me that answers usually lie in plain sight? Didn't you once tell me that answers usually lie in plain sight?
Well, they do, but...
The ladder is broken recently, judging by the freshness.
Okay. I don't think I've got all the pieces.
Is it the wood?
Didn't you once tell me that answers usually lie in plain sight?
Go.
In the language of Mycroft's secret agents, it's a sign. Dried flowers are replaced when the job is done. I wonder who the recipient is. An
The lady across the
improvised
street.
stand, but it does make the flowers more visible.
There you go.
Finest view London has to offer.
Okay, so back here, maybe. Dead flowers on display. Definitely that. I don't have. Alright, can I talk to him now? And go talk to her. When I say so.
Hello there. What's your
Have a
name?
look at my... Lily. I know, not very original. Have a look at my flowers. They will not bite, unless you touch their thorns.
Unless you touch their thorn.
Didn't you once tell me that answers usually lie in plain sight?
Oh my god. I'm gonna guess it's a situation of imitation. Ooh, physics. Knock the chair. This is really annoying. Why the hell? Excuse me? Dude is still peeing in the alley. Oh, is that guy snoring? Sounds like a dog growling. Oh.
Encouraging people to stop and smell the roses.
Our national emblem. God save the Queen.
It must take patience and care to produce a bloom so beautiful.
I imagine so. I merely sell them.
Well, a cactus.
Familiar spine. That's what I found in my dustbin. Pot is damaged. The blow was severe, but softened by something.
Your newspaper.
Anything tickle your fancy, Mr. Holmes?
Beauty or for concealment. Luxury fabric unusual for work attire. Mourning brooch. Honored deceased husband. Clean boots. Change shoes upon arrival. Well, that makes sense because of the mud. Distant look. Avoids eye contact or distracted. Miss Fleming wears a mourning brooch in memory of her late husband. Her dress is made from an expensive fabric that is not suitable for work. Her shoes show no traces of mud. She must have changed them when she arrived. Her eyes constantly dart around the street, seemingly in search for something. Perhaps she is waiting for someone? While Mrs. Fleming cherishes the memory of her departed husband, she is trying to move on, as suggested by her makeup and nice outfit. Perhaps she is dressing to attract someone's attention, or simply because she has learned to love herself again. Mrs. Fleming uses makeup to hide her tear-stained cheeks. Her dress is made from an expensive fabric that is not suitable for outside work. That's the same as over there. While she tries to bury her grief by dressing extravagantly, she still wears a mourning brooch in memory of her late husband. Her gaze, always staring off into the distance, reveals her emotional detachment. Taken as a whole, one must conclude that Mrs. Fleming is still reeling from her tragic loss. I feel like it's more that one. I'm gonna go with that one.
Mrs. Fleming, you look particularly lovely today. Is there a reason?
Does a woman need a reason to look or feel beautiful?
No, but your distant look suggests you seek one man's gaze in particular.
Who told you that?
Nobody. Merely a keen eye and some simple deduction.
Well, I'll kindly ask you to keep your keen eye to yourself, Mr. Holmes.
Here's the flowers in the window.
What do you make of the flowers in Barnes' shop window?
Well, they could use a bit of water.
Do they mean anything to you?
Mean anything how? I'm not sure I follow, Mr. Holmes.
Why do you think they're there?
Are you suggesting the flowers are for me?
Yes.
Seems likely, does it not?
Oh, I hope you're right. I don't know anything about this, sorry.
One of these things is not like the other.
Come again?
The cactus. Those fearsome spines can prove a devil to remove, and the sap is often toxic.
And a rose thorn can give you tetanus, but we still grow them. The cactus seems comparatively harmless. Though you have me thinking it must be valuable.
I was under the impression that you knew its price already.
Your guess is as good as mine. The first time I saw this cactus was when I came back from my break.
Okay, so...
I don't know anything about this, sorry. I'm afraid I can't help with that, Mr. Holmes. Are you sure you're asking the right person? I'm just a flower seller.
Are you familiar with Mr. Barnes?
That's where you just start
No,
clicking
not
on
really.
shit and seeing what sticks.
Well, in a way.
What on earth does that mean?
I know who he is, of course. But we haven't shared much more than a look.
It's funny because you both have the hots for each other.
Each morning I go for a walk in the park with my dog. And most days I spot Mr. Barnes there with his new puppy. So we see each other. Actually, we once met briefly while our dogs played. He was quiet and seemed unsteady as he approached. But since then, we've never spoken. I often see him staring through the shop window. Sometimes I wonder what he thinks about that would etch such longing into his face.
Boobs.
Have a look at my flowers. They
Boobs.
will not bite unless you touch their thorns.
Got this now. He got the cactus for her because he's got the hots for her. Barnes is in love with Mrs. Fleming. Barnes displays a bouquet of dead flowers to attract the attention of Mrs. Fleming, a florist. He may hope she will come into a shop and give him watering advice, or it could simply be a symbol of his desperation. Barnes anonymously gifted her a cactus, which he ordered from the catalog on his counter. A questionable choice, but for Barnes, a symbol of his eternal love, since the catalog presents these cacti as immortal. Plainly, this is the same cactus he dropped on the Strand outside 221B Baker Street. Now to hear the full story. Yes, we will.
I think perhaps I have been chasing shadows.
Do not despair, Mr. Holmes. Even the best of us make mistakes. We better tell Mr. Barnes what we've learned.
Mr. Barnes, I know what you did, and I know why you did it.
I'm sorry, Mr. Holmes. I can't hear you very well from behind the door.
Then open it!
You ordered a cactus from the plant catalogue and then left it for Mrs. Fleming as a gift. You place flowers in the window to get her attention and wear high heels to appear taller and more desirable. You are her secret admirer. I couldn't read this morning's edition of The Strand because it was covered in soil and spines. I know you dropped a cactus on it and then fled.
Barnes, it's Dr. Watson. Rest assured we are not interested in disclosing your personal affairs to anyone, including Mrs. Fleming. Please come out.
All right, then.
Ridiculous.
So, you know what happened then? I was on my way back from the post office, having picked up the cactus and some books. It was quite an awkward package, heavy too, and when I got to your door, I dropped the cactus in your paper. Forgive me.
I needed that paper to prove a theory and prevent a crime. Your actions were rather disruptive. Your clumsiness carrying the post is matched only by the clumsiness of your romantic gesture.
Yeah.
Oh, it's true. I am useless with this sort of thing. I'm not even sure if Mrs. Fleming noticed.
I have neither the experience nor the interest in navigating the finer sex and their peculiarities. Do what you will.
Oh, right. Yes, of course.
So, at last, we return to the matter of
Oops.
the paper. I'm investigating a string of burglaries. Did you perhaps read of any before the edition was spoiled?
I don't recall, but you're welcome to read our copy for yourself.
You had an issue of The Strand here all along?
Well, naturally. I am a bookseller. I have a subscription to every magazine and newspaper in London.
So you ought to be familiar with the concept of burying the lead.
Oh no, my apologies, Mr. Holmes. I'll make it up to you however I can. I am an expert on obscure languages and translation and
Yes, okay. Just give me the paper.
That won't come into play later. The Strand. Saltpeter explosion rocks docks. Locals at the Port of London had a rude awakening last night with loud bangs and thick red smoke disturbing the peace. Merchant ship Moskva had docked at Pier N3 in the early evening en route to Europe, when it was rocked by several concussive explosions. The Port Authority is yet to comment on the incident, and is unknown if any crew members were on board at the time. Eyewitnesses report seeing saltpeter leaking into the river, but with the area still off limits to workers and the public, it may be some time before we have a full account of what transpired.
Dr. Watson, let us put this matter behind us.
Farewell, Mr. Barnes. I hope to hear good news about you and Mrs. Fleming.
let me know if there's any way I can make it up to you. Tell you what, tomorrow's edition of The Strand is on me.
Well, thanks, but I'm a subscriber to it, so...
Okay, not just tomorrow. A whole week's worth. How does that sound? You're right, I could do more. Next time you move house, I'll be there to help. I'm great with boxes.
I guess Holmes is just guilting
And
him.
feel free to consult my
Further
books
and
whenever you
further.
like. I could be an asset in one of your investigations.
Good, actually.
And feel free to consult my books
Okay.
whenever you like. I could be an asset in one of your investigations.
Well, that was an utter waste of time.
An assassination did seem rather unlikely.
There was supposed to be another burglary. I was certain of it. Something you wish to say, Doctor?
No? Well, only that you have a remarkable faculty for deduction and pattern recognition. And that perhaps, if ill-applied...
I see things that are not there.
Yes. It is London. There will always be burglaries. Doesn't have to mean anything.
So it seems. Forgive me. Without something to occupy my mind, I turn into an entirely different animal.
The glare in his
Which brings us
left
back to
eye
the
makes it
news
look like
from
one of his
earlier.
eyes is a little
I think I have
drifty.
a case for you, a real one.
Truly?
Indeed. Though perhaps not as thrilling as your stories from Cordona. A patient of mine, Captain Stenwick, told me that his servant disappeared. I said I knew just the man to help. What do you say?
Oh, Watson.
Yes, I know it's not the most tantalizing mystery, nor the story to launch my writing career. But...
It's brilliant. Let's go.
Oh, good. Well, his house is nearby. Come.
It was. I already found it. It's not this way, but I'm going this way. And you
Not much
can't
further
stop
now.
me. Oh, apparently it is this way.
Is this lousy attitude of yours because of my
Wolverine?
altercation with Inspector Lockhart? Did he put you up to this?
Sir, the inspector has nothing to do with it. I'm telling you the same thing I tell anyone seeking a missing person.
Good day, gentlemen. Forgive the intrusion. Captain Stenwick, this is my colleague Sherlock Holmes, the consulting detective I told you about.
At last, a professional. This useless officer refuses to do anything about Kimmy here, my missing servant. What was your name again? I shall be certain to inform your superiors.
Sergeant Ruffles. It's my
Okay.
superiors who made this decision, sir.
Have there been other disappearances lately?
Of course, here and there. But when life is tough and opportunity comes knocking, you can't blame those who answer.
Why has the police department decided not to help?
We investigate murders, thefts, fraud, arson, real crimes. A servant walking away from his master is not our highest priority. That said,
Yeah.
if we find him here breaking the law, we'll be sure to notify Captain Stenwick. Now, I must be off. Best of luck in your search.
You heard that, didn't you? The way that man spoke to me. I shall need your written testimony. Then we can lodge a complaint.
Captain, perhaps Mr. Holmes' time is better spent learning about your servant, so that he may begin his investigation.
Ah, yes. Quite right. Fire away.
Tell me about Kim here.
He's foreign. A Maori. All the way from New Zealand. Biggest man you've ever seen. And as strong as two. Dark hair and fearsome tattoos. He doesn't speak a whit of English. Never bothered to learn. But I made do with pointing. I invested a lot of money in him, so he must be found.
When did you last see your servant?
Kimmy here normally brings me the morning papers, but yesterday I had to get them myself. He must have escaped the night before yesterday.
May I see your servant's
Escaped?
bedroom?
His shack is in the garden. You can't miss it.
Did you search the room?
Of course, but only to check he wasn't lying dead inside. Everything seemed normal at a glance.
Is there any reason Kim here may have left?
I should think not. He had all he could have wanted. Gainful employment, new clothes, and all the cabbage he could eat.
Maybe he didn't like cabbage.
Did Kim here make off with anything of value?
Heavens, no. I would have mentioned it to Sergeant Ruffles.
Still,
Ruffles.
he
I
must
prefer
have
Sergeant
some
Lays
money
myself.
on his person.
No. I kept his wages in my safe. For security.
I take it this is the first time Kim here has vanished?
Undoubtedly. The man seemed terrified of the city. I think it was all the noise. He never left this estate. Should he cause any damage, I will bear the responsibility, for it was I who rescued him from savagery and brought him here to England in the first place.
All right, Captain. I think I have enough to get started. We shall first take a look around the mansion.
Go ahead. I'll be here, mentally drafting my complaint.
Mentally drafting my complaint. That dude inadvertently has the same voice that I use for just generic ruffled Englishman. Ruffled Englishman? That didn't make any sense. Just generic Englishman voice. Oh yeah, sure. It's quite right. There's poop on
Chewing
this
tobacco.
statue.
Looks like a knee print.
It does. That's his footprint.
A shoe print, roughly size 11, with a worn-out sole. These are a workman's boots. Someone knelt here. The amount of chewing tobacco suggests they were waiting a while.
Amazing, Mr. Holmes. To read the ground like an open book.
Blue Sherlock can use imagination to reconstruct the past. R1 to see the imagination. Okay, that's apparently all I got. Ooh, the Cordona suit. I like that suit. I like the color. I like the cut. I think he looks a little too anime with the rolled up sleeve, but take off this ridiculous hat. Quit fucking Jack the Ripper up in here. Circle plus R1 to observe the object more closely. Get the pin. Damn it.
Stenwick makes his servant live in a tool shed? You think you know someone?
This lock is quite
not that
unusual.
way.
It appears that the key should be bent to the right. A scrap of Hessian. These were sturdy boxes. It would have required a serious blow to break them.
Come.
No air coming through it. No air coming through it. A heavy chemical odor. Lend me your nose, Doctor.
Ah, I'll never forget that smell after my time in Afghanistan. That's an opioid, Mr. Holmes, a narcotic.
Button chops. The remains of a meal. The ashes are long since cold.
Guy was on opioids. Ocarina?
A Maori nose flute. Ngurus, they're called.
A nose flute.
Clothes made
Interesting.
of Hessian. Is Stenwick really so miserly? Is this a Tanifar, a Maori watersmith, or something else?
Looks like it,
By the
I
way, it's giving
guess.
me chills.
I don't know why I said looks like it, like I know what the hell that is. Nope, someone face planted.
Impressive. The sack of grain retained the shape of an impact. Someone hit their head here.
Okay.
Impressive. The sack of grain retained the shape of an impact. Someone hit their head here.
Whatever I'm missing, it's gotta be in here. What the fuck? God, this is another one of those. I feel real dumb. Oh, god damn it! Forgot I could move.
A small Navy spyglass.
Yeah, I'm dumb. Never claimed to be smart. Key missing. Sorry, I'm hyper focused right now. I don't know how the hell I would have fallen that way.
No air coming through it. No, no, no. He is missing the form, but to the left. Watson. Get out of my way, fool. The old wheelbarrow. Could have left these tracks. They seem fresh.
Or a wagon. I did that. And by that I mean there's one interesting thing in the garden. What to do? Either. Often used. Similar tracks near Kimihia's shack.
Someone moved a cart to this spot and then took it elsewhere. Can't see it anywhere in the garden.
I forget that I can do this. Yeah. Holy shit. It's gonna be relevant. Okay, got one of them. More items. I think that's because I need to go through that gate. I need to find that key. Tools are here, so I think he's just working. I'm gonna talk to what's his nuts again.
Are you joking? Why would I know this? I thought you were meant to be intelligent.
The door to your garden has an interesting lock.
Yes, I have uncommon locks on every door of my mansion. It makes them harder to pick. Kimmy here and I both had a set of keys.
I'll need to borrow them.
No, you'll need to do what I tell you to do. Examine the garden.
And the garden is locked and I can't get into it.
Why would I know this?
Is this spyglass familiar?
I don't recognize it.
Could it be Kimahir's, perhaps?
I doubt it. I never saw him with it, nor could I suggest how he might have come by it.
I came across a pile of Hessian clothes in the shack. Are they Kimahir's?
Yes. I had to give him something to clothe himself. He seemed unfazed by his bare skin, but I found it distracting.
Big old dude just swinging meat in the garden.
Do you happen to know Kimahir's shoe size?
I wouldn't have the foggiest, but I'm sure it was enormous. Not that it matters. He spent his life barefoot. Despite my best efforts, he simply did not take to shoes.
So that wasn't
Has
him.
Kimahir ever indulged in tobacco?
No, the man doesn't even drink.
Are you certain? I found chewing tobacco in the garden.
I controlled Kimahir's expenses since he struggled with the currency. I would have known if he used tobacco.
And there you go. Nope. Damn it, I think I exhausted all my... Damn. Another spyglass. Oh, damn. Like how dude is just like, no, you will investigate my garden. Like, I can't get to the garden to investigate it. Okay, now I got more options. Other than him. My third option. Stenic. Oh, yeah, that was where the... Yeah. I'm still missing something here. I think he was knocked out and carted away on the cart. Drugged. No, I think it was you dragging him. Oh, well. I'm missing something here. Oh. Gotta investigate the pipe.
The rag reeks of smoke. Someone plugged the chimney.
Yep, he was drugged.
Surveilling from afar, the intruder waited for a window of opportunity.
Yep.
When Kimahir went to sleep, the man crept up to the shack and slipped narcotics down the chimney pipe, then blocked it with a cloth. Kimahir inhaled the sedative and fell into a deep sleep. The intruder tried to move him, but the man was heavier than expected. The intruder fell on the sack and dropped his spyglass. In order to transport the servant, he had to use the cart. The final challenge was opening the garden door. Luckily for our intruder, Kimahir had the key in his shack.
Remarkable. It makes total sense.
It does. Now maybe we can get the fucking key from Dickbag. Man, those Bloodborne style coats with the shoulders like that need to come back.
You must have found something by now, gentlemen.
I fear that someone may have spied upon Kimahir. Likely the owner of the spyglass I found earlier. It appears they were watching for some time, as there was an impressive amount of chewing tobacco on the ground.
And your point?
You said that you checked the shack earlier. Did you notice the cart tracks near it? Now, one ought to expect a servant to make regular use of such a thing. Indeed, I would have overlooked the detail were it not for the cart's absence. If, as you say, Kimahir never leaves your estate, then where did it go?
I expect answers from you, Mr. Holmes, not questions.
I found the residue of narcotics in Kimahir's brazier. There are several explanations, perhaps your servant's recreational interest, or an attempt at poisoning.
Cut to the chase, Mr. Holmes.
I won't keep you in suspense any longer, Captain. Kimahir was abducted by the owner of the spyglass. When your servant fell asleep, he slipped a narcotic into Kimahir's brazier to make him sleep even more soundly. In order to carry a man as large as Kimahir, the intruder stole the cart and rolled him right out of your garden.
Now,
Simple
hold
as
on.
that.
All this simply to tell me what I already know. Why haven't you found him yet?
I only arrived a moment ago. It is, frankly, incredible that I have already deduced so much.
Ignoring the fact that it
Every
took him like
second
15
you
minutes to
dawdle
figure
here
that out.
Waiting for me to stroke your ego is another second wasted. I'm not interested in the how, the why, or the who. I am only interested in recovering my investment. Spare me the claptrap, boy, and go and fetch my servant.
I'm gonna let that pass.
The point is, Captain, we're telling you this for a reason. The intruder fled through the garden door, and we need a key to follow his trail.
Well, then you should have led with that. Here you go.
I asked you
I hope
that
you'll
5
return
minutes
soon
ago,
with
and you
good
said to
news.
fuck off.
And in the meantime, please teach your companion the art of brevity.
I'm gonna abbreviate my fucking size 9s up your narrow ass. That was weird. I'm gonna guess he took this boat since... Oh, never mind. Can't go down there.
Stenwick makes his servant live in a tool shed. You think you know someone.
That's also suspicious. So I'm assuming I'm looking for tracks of some kind. Yeah. After all this shit.
A large pile of horse droppings.
I was gonna say, did one of them shit?
Many cigarette butts. Someone stood here for hours. There was a cab waiting here. Our abductor slipped in and then off into the night.
That's definitely where it came out. Oh, wait. These tracks are obvious. Nope. Jesus, Watson.
Can I ask you a question? Sorry, sir, I can't help you.
Yeah, I forgot that's the thing you can do, is actually question people.
Could you help me?
No, I don't know anything about that.
Do you know anything about this?
It's a shame, but I can't help you.
Excuse me, just one question.
No, I don't know anything about that.
God, so much. Okay, well, I got the spyglass. No size shoe he wears. Probably the docks. Crap. Oh, damn. Also, it's raining. I find it very hard to believe that this trail would still be even remotely visible. I think with those cobbles, it would get washed away real easy. Cobblestones, not cobbles. I tried to go that way. You can't go that way, so he had to have gone this way.
Is this familiar to you?
No, sir, I've never heard of it.
Help me, please.
No, sir, I've never heard of it.
Apparently I've missed something out here. Back of the garden.
Why are you still here?
What? I did the thing. I got the key. Clearly came out here. I assume got to the road as quickly as possible. It was night, so you could pretty safely assume that there wouldn't have been much traffic to stop him from doing that. This way, maybe? I feel like this is... Oh, fuck.
Can you
you satisfy my curiosity?
I don't think anyone here knows the answer. You should ask someone else.
I don't think there's anything back here. Turn down this way.
Impressive stature, strong gaze. I think this man deserves a knighthood.
Really, Holmes? How can you be so sure?
On rare occasions, Watson, it can suffice to trust one's gut.
That's funny. Yeah, you can't go that way.
Get the Strand. Get your copy of the Strand here. I'll stand watch, just in case the strange man comes back.
This is outside Baker Street, so I highly doubt who I'm looking for would so conveniently be like right here. And officially come around in a circle.
May I ask for your assistance?
No, I don't know anything about that.
May I ask you something?
A lady doesn't know about such things.
Plot twist, I'm going through all this fucking trouble and there's an imagination thing right here. Found the cart.
Sturdy rope, professionally tied in a Portuguese bowline. This knot is often used by sailors to create a bosun's chair. Wheels picked up grass along the way. Kimahia's cart, I gather.
Nope.
Roy Salisbury. Could that be the name of our man? A strange substance. I have my suspicions based on the color and consistency, but would you care to hazard a guess, Doctor?
Well, it's odorless, but from the way it absorbs water, I'd say saltpeter.
Then we're in agreement. Well done.
Okay. So saltpeter, we know he's a sailor then, because of the article we just read. He was kidnapped by a sailor. Particular knot, a spyglass, and the footprints of a working man's boots. They all add up to one conclusion. Kimahia's abductor is a sailor. Do you know where I can find some sailors around here? Oh, it's probably abductor is a sailor. All evidence points to the port of London. We know that Kimahia's kidnapper is most likely a sailor, that his wallet bears saltpeter residue, and that there was a recent saltpeter accident in the port of London. Everything suggests that to find Kimahia, we must head to the port of London. There is no time to lose. It is vital that we find a cab to the port of London immediately.
The Strand proved not so useless after all. The saltpeter accident, Doctor, do you recall?
The port of London, of course. The footwear, the spyglass.
Indeed. We shall need to take a cab there.
Ever? I don't know what the hell else there could be I could do.
Where to, Gav? The Port of London, please. I will show you where to stop.
The Blood Red Knight.
Mr. Holmes, what a compelling mystery we have stumbled upon. Perhaps I have the premise of my next novel.
One kidnapping does not a story make.
Stop! A black cat crossed before us. It's a bad omen.
I do not take you for the superstitious type, Doctor. Such things are mere fantasies, tricks of a feeble mind. One imagines a physician would keep a surer footing in reality.
Perhaps, before the war, my time abroad was difficult. Once, I came across an Afghan, bleeding, who I could not save. He pressed a rosary into my hand. A gift, he said, so as to gain God's favor after that.
Dr. Watson?
Yes, well, I shan't get into details, but sometime later I found myself lost in the desert. Dehydration set in, and things grew ever more dire. A man's words came to me. I said a prayer, placed the rosary on a rock. A gift to gain God's favor.
And you were rescued?
Yes. A detachment of British soldiers found me.
To whom I'm grateful. Without their diligence, you would not be standing here and I would not have this case.
I'm sure you have another explanation prepared, Mr. Holmes, but I think I shall cling to the occasional superstition all the same.
To each his own, Dr. Watson. So long as it does not interfere with my methods, do it. We must press on, cat or no cat. The question remains, why abduct Kimmer here?
Very good question.
Oh, hardly a reputable establishment.
I've seen worse. Greetings, miss. I'm hoping you can help us.
We shall soon see.
We need help finding a man. I doubt we all have pale, chapped lips, vomit stains, yar, preggers, belly a bit distended, rude, trousers a little too tight. The barmaid is in the early stages of pregnancy, hence the slightly distended belly and hints of morning nausea. Chapped lips and a pale face indicate a lack of proper nutrition, however. She clearly has yet to know of her pregnancy as she keeps wearing her usual clothes, which are now too tight for her. Barmaid is in the early stages of pregnancy, hence the slightly distended belly and hints of morning nausea. Chapped lips and a pale face indicate a lack of proper nutrition, however. She tries hiding her swollen belly by wearing trousers that are too tight for her. I'm gonna say she's unawares.
Miss, what if I told you that you are in the family way?
No, really? Oh, thank you, sir. How would I, a simple woman, have ever known without your help? You must be a doctor.
In a manner of speaking.
He's not. He merely has the ego of one. I apologize, miss. Mr. Holmes is fond of his observations, but I am the doctor here, not him. Do you need any help?
I'm fine, thank you. I would rather not discuss my condition, nor let
No.
word of it spread.
I was wrong.
I heard tell of a recent explosion in the port. What do you know then?
Ah, yes. Something exploded in a ship's cargo hold. Caused a terrible blaze. The sky was red with smoke till morning.
Where precisely did it occur?
The ship sank near the third pier.
That'd have been pretty.
Next to the dockyard.
My colleague and I are seeking a burly man, above average height, with workman's boots.
Half my customers, then. Your description hardly narrows things down. Doesn't look like anything to me.
Are you familiar with a Roy Soulsby?
Roy Soulsby? I know the name, but he's not one of my regulars. My guess is that he works somewhere around here.
Good to know. Fuck that up.
It appears that the saltpeter explosion rattled the locals. Can't blame them for staying at home.
Nope, well, back out into it.
Can I ask you a question?
You're lucky to find me.
And usually wanders close to the dockyard.
Can I ask you a question?
As much as I'd like to help you, I know nothing about this.
May I ask for your assistance?
I don't think anyone here knows the answer. You should ask someone else.
I don't think anyone here knows the answer.
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
Sorry, sir. I can't help you.
The person with the umbrella.
Do you know anything about this?
I don't think anyone here knows the answer. You should ask someone else.
Can I ask you a question?
I don't think anyone here knows the answer. You should ask someone else.
Well, you have a lot of brothers, and y'all look and sound exactly alike.
May I ask you something?
I think I can help you.
People say that Mr. Soulsby may have gone to watch the ship that exploded yesterday near the third pier.
Do you know anything about this?
I don't think anyone here knows the answer. You should ask someone.
Hey, different voice saying the same line.
May I ask for your assistance?
I don't think anyone here knows the answer.
And there's another
You should
one.
ask someone else.
I can't razz it too much for that. This is more or less a budget title.
Could you help me?
As much as I'd like to help you, I know nothing about this.
Not budget. It's not a AAA game. I mean, hell, AAA games do that too.
Not in the mood, mate. Shoo!
Pardon me, sir. I am looking for Roy...
Oh, not again. Yes, I'm Roy, but I can't help you find your uncle or whoever you've lost.
Now, what makes you think I would inquire about missing people?
You are the fourth person to ask this week. Just because I work at the port doesn't mean I keep track of everyone who comes here.
May I ask what you're doing here?
This is where the ship sank the other day. I'm trying to work out how we'll remove it.
You say we are not the first to ask you about a disappearance. Do you recall anything about those who came inquiring?
I only remember the foreign woman. I didn't catch her name, but those are her posters hanging up everywhere. She has badgered me twice now, and I still don't know nothing.
And this woman can be found?
No clue. She was talking gibberish.
Now, where was I? I shall take my leave.
Oh, damn it.
What are you gawping at?
Observe. Look at this guy. Look him over. Look him over. Look him over. 5'5". Average height is 5'5", and many stamped ink stains. HM cuss. Waltham Hillside Pocket Watch. Mint solid gold. Flies undone. No muscle tone, not brawny. English. He has an English blood around 5'5" and has an average build. His lack of muscle tone implies that he is hardly strong. Mr. Soulsby does not seem to look like Kimihia's abductor. His left palm bears several stamp ink stains. Some letters remain visible. H.M. Cuss. Apparently Mr. Soulsby is a customs officer. He holds a brand new Waltham Hillside watch in his pocket. Only a corrupt customs officer can afford such a thing. I'm going to say that one.
Sorry, doesn't ring a bell. Sorry, doesn't ring a bell. Sorry, doesn't ring a bell.
Have you seen this before?
My card? Where did you dig that up?
At a crime scene near Baker Street involving a young servant's kidnapping, I might add.
No. Someone used it without my consent. How else would it end up there?
Disappearance. Foreign woman. I don't think any of the things have anything to do with each other. Abducted Kimihia. Again, I don't think any of these things have to do with each other. Damn it. So, you know, that to me seems like something you'd want to inquire about, is asking people if they've seen a foreign woman walking around.
Help me, please.
I wish I could be of help, but I can't. Sorry.
Help me, please.
I wish I could be of help, but I can't. Sorry.
Bar, maybe? Warehouse. Okay, I know we haven't really gotten anything done. Well, I say that. We got to the second chapter. I think I'm going to call it good for right now. Take a little break. I'll probably be back on later, and I think I'm going to... I might play this. I don't know. I might play Elden Ring. I'm kind of having the jonesing. I didn't play it yesterday, so... As always, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, all that jazz, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.